All right, guys, let's get into the weekly watch list. So, um, I've been traveling. I'm still traveling. I haven't been able to update you guys on Friday with the normal live trading, but should be back this week. I'm looking for the stocks you guys wanted me to go over. Okay, but let's start with first watch list. So, SPY, take a look at SPY. Um, We're still in an uptrend. We're right near 52-week highs. We're hitting the 2.5 ATR target. We're past that on the weekly. So we are pretty extended. So we could see a pullback at any point in time. So we just need to be aware that a pullback could happen at any point. So for me personally, I'm I'm in a few positions already. We've taken profits on a decent bit of them. Um, so what I'm going to be looking for is a first a pullback. Once SPY pulls back, then I can say, okay, I might want to buy something. Once we get a pullback to the moving averages, still holding a green trend, so on and so forth. But that's that for now. The IWM showing relative strength. We talked about this one last week. We had buy signals all through here. Price was getting tight, and then we had a really nice breakout here to the upside. So that one looked great as well. Um, Bitcoin, something to note. Bitcoin has been performing pretty well. We've got a weekly buy here. We broke out last week above that high. So we're seeing a pretty nice breakout on this and headed towards a new all-time high. It might have made a new all-time high over the weekend. I have not checked. So you can see with between IWM, between Bitcoin, they're both showing relative strength to the SPY. And that tells us that this is still a risk-on environment. And if you go look at the market leaders, that's kind of obvious. Okay. So let's go take a look at some other stuff. So we can quickly go over our positions. So Rocket or Oscar, this is one we picked up on Friday, and we took an entry right at 12 or 2008. That was our entry point. Our stop loss was about 30 cents lower, so 1.5% risk, and we are currently up about 8%. So we're up about a 5 hour trade right now. We trimmed half into the right here at the 120 or 2120-ish area. So we trimmed half there and now holding the rest with a stop at break even. This one looks really good on the weekly chart. We had a weekly buy here. We got price consolidating, getting tight, and then we had this breakout on Friday on big volume. You can see here 182% relative volume, which is a really good sign. That's what we're kind of looking for. We zoom out to the monthly chart. This could easily be a $25 stock very soon, and even potentially a $30 stock. So we're in a really great position. We're just going to trail the rest, let it play out. Beautiful trade, awesome chart. Rocket Lab is the other position that we're in. So on Thursday, we picked up an entry at around 48.70-ish. Um, right, yeah, right around there. And it ended up pulling back, and we closed it for minus 1.5% for a loss. And then we picked it back up on Thursday and entered at 49.20. And then our stop was about 1.5% away, 70 cents. We're now up about 15, 16% here. And so this is a 10-hour trade right now. We trimmed some on Friday or Thursday. We're still holding the rest. It made a new all-time high, but we're up 10 times what we were risking on this trade. So this is a pretty awesome trade so far. So you can see the volume is increasing on both the breakout days, moving into all-time highs. We're in price discovery mode. So um, we have room up into 60 easily. So great looking chart. Those are the two positions I'm in, and they are showing relative strength on Friday when SPY was red. So these are two really great positions. A personal position I'm in is NVIDIA. Um, this one I took on the breakout of this day right here, entered here, and took some off at 3R here, and then now have a stop at break even on this. So almost came to my break even stop, but I'm going to trail this one as long as it doesn't hit my break even stop. So those are the three positions I'm in currently. I'm not going to enter in anything new until the market, like I said, has a pullback to support. And then I'm going to be looking for the leaders after that because I really like the positions we're in. Couple exceptions. So uh, MP is one of my favorite setups this week. It's holding the 50. Look at the weekly chart, holding that weekly 9 perfectly and building this flag out. Looks very similar to if I look at OKLO when it was holding support in through here. And MP is one of the leaders. It was showing relative strength on Friday. And so really like this chart. Going to keep a close eye on this. We've got this trend line here. So if we can get a breakout on this one, I'd love to take this into new all-time highs. So I'm open to adding position in this. So that's MP. CCJ price is getting tight here. So this one and UEC, these are uranium names. So keeping a close eye on these. Um, this one here, UEC has been a market leader. So you can see off the lows, it was at 385 stocks. We're up, what, 400% or something like that? 250%. I was very far off math. So taking a look, this is just a great looking chart. We bounced to the 21, bounced to the 21, bounced to the 21, and now we're there again, and price is getting tight. So I'm keeping an eye on this one. Uh, keep an eye on the breakout level there. Um, CCJ looks great as well. Price is getting tight. I'm looking to see, can we break out here? Failed to do that on Friday, but can we see if it might want to break out this week? So keep an eye on this. Is kind of a sector play. We're clearly building higher lows in through here over and over, just continuing to build higher lows here, 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 here. We broke this base and holding the weekly 9. And so can we get a breakout here? So those are kind of on the back burners, but that's a sector play. AVGX, if you're not involved in the semiconductor space, I think this one is a great chart to look at. And I think that this would be a really nice trade if we can break out to the upside. This is just the leveraged ETF of AVGO. So this one looks awesome. It's been one of the market leaders, and I think it looks good. Um, let's see. And this one, it has a weekly setup, so I'm keeping a close eye on it. That's why it looks good. It's building higher lows all through here. Definitely not a leader, but it might set up for something that could be a pretty nice move to the upside. So just keep an eye on that one. MOD, this one is trying to break out of a massive base that it's been forming, holding the weekly 9. So keep an eye on that one. Could have a breakout in through here, and we're not far off the all-time highs. So ELF, this is another one that's getting really tight. You can see we had this crazy move up off the lows. We had 200% move off of the lows, and we're trading about 175, 180% up right now. And we have this massive cup and handle type deal. When you have like a run up like this is only institutions that can do this. So definitely want to keep a close eye on this chart. And I think we've got this inverse head and shoulders type pattern here. We broke out, and now we are bouncing off of the support level. We're building higher lows in through here. And so I'm interested to see, can we get a breakout here in the near future? So keep a close eye on that one. And this one looks really awesome as well, ELF. So this one could easily be $150 stock again very soon. Rubric, this is a kind of an ugly looking chart. I'm just keeping it on my watch list, not ready to try and trade it just yet. Okay, so now let's go over. So this has a weekly setup. So I just want to keep an eye on this, see if the daily can kind of clean itself up first, and then I'd like to trade it to the upside. But for now, it doesn't have a setup just yet. It's still trying to recover that move off of the earnings sell-off. You can kind of see here we had this huge sell-off, and now we're trying to bounce back, but it's kind of a like lackluster bounce. So just keep an eye on that one. It could set up in the next few weeks. So just keep it on your watch list. So I'm looking at the ones that you guys requested from me. ABGO, I covered that one. Rubric, covered that one just now. TMDX. So this one is a weekly setup as well. Um, I like how price is tightening up, and I think above like 320 or 120, this could be a good breakout setup to anticipate this trend line breakout. But if you're trading this, you're looking for this to at least go back to 145. It's printing a good flag. It might need a few more weeks to consolidate, but a good first shot could be above that 120 level. So keep an eye on that one. MP, I covered. That's my favorite chart going into this week. Uh, Amazon. Amazon, you can see how critical the 50 was in through here. It's bounced one, two, three times. And now that it's failed and trading below it, wouldn't touch it until it gets back above it. It's trading at the 21 EMA, so maybe a longer term buy. You could do something with that. But I think that's a little premature. I think it's not ready yet. So monthly chart looks okay. Uh, But yeah, I'd wait for like a shorter term trade. I'd be waiting for it to get back above the daily 50. Right now, it's all of its moving averages are moving lower, and it was a clear support level in through here. Um, but yeah, it's just now it's broken. Something has changed, and I wouldn't want to be involved with it at the current moment. MSTR. So MSTR, this one is just in a massive range between 470 or 460 and like 240. Uh, and it's underperforming Bitcoin, and this tries to follow Bitcoin loosely. So honestly, if I were you, I would want to trade the leveraged Bitcoin or focus on Coinbase because Coinbase has a much cleaner setup and looks great here. So it's not a good entry point right here, but when it pulls back, now that it's broken out of this base, I think that um, any pullbacks above 350 would be viable. Just wait for the moving averages to catch up. But MSTR does not look good here. You can see like there just isn't demand right now. Wait for it to start to break out of this downtrend and then move back into an uptrend and then trade this higher. Or wait for it to start to see some buyers come in. So like you can see here, we're kind of downtrending and stuff. This you want to see kind of shift and then have something like this where it's above all the moving averages, and then you can start entertaining the idea. UPS. So UPS here, wouldn't touch it. It's in a clear downtrend, a really strong downtrend. If you're gonna, I wouldn't say it's a place to short it. Wait for it to get to the weekly 21, or even better yet, the weekly 50, and then you can try and short it again. No reason that I would look to buy this thing. It's in a clear downtrend and has been in a downtrend since 2022. And it's severely underperforming the market, so I would not touch this. Microsoft, I think looks great here. A little bit of a slow mover, but if it can break out above 520, I think that this one could be one of the mega caps that lead the market next. You can see here we're building higher lows. We printed some buy signals here, so just be patient. And we had a tight day on Friday, showed a little bit of relative strength. So If we can break out above 520, I think that is a good look for the market and a good look for this stock. So keep an eye on that one. So yeah, that one looks good. Meta. I wouldn't touch this one either. This is kind of like Amazon. It's breaking down. It just closed below the weekly 21. Here's the last time it closed below the weekly 21. Um, there's only been a select few times where it's broke the weekly 21. So if it closes again this week, that's a major warning sign. But we do have $700 support here. So just pay attention to it because you can see there's not like here we had barely closed below it and it wasn't closing near the lows. So just keep an eye on it. If it closes below again, then I definitely would not want to be involved long on this. But it could be a shakeout like here. So it had one close below, then reclaimed it, and then had to move up. One close below, reclaimed it, and then had to move up. And then here it had two closes below, and then it came up, rejected it, and then sold off. So just keep an eye, just wait a week and see what ends up happening with this. But right now, in terms of longs, this chart looks really rough to try and trade it to the long side. And it's too far in the hole for you to try and short it from here. You need to wait on a bounce. Anyways, and UNH. So this one put in a hard bottom, uh, and now is up 50% in about 2 months. So this one looks good. I wouldn't buy it here. I'd wait for it to pull back to the moving averages. Um, it's not one of the better looking things, honestly. So it's just it could bounce, but it broke this huge base here that has been in this base for 38 bars. So 38 months it was trading sideways. So I would expect this to continue lower, but I wouldn't try to short it until these moving averages start to stack lower. Like here's an example where you had a sell signal here, you had sell signals here, and it had a sell off from 310 to 237. So in this case, you can trade it higher if you want, but once it gets to this kind of 340 or 440 level, I would avoid trying to trade it long because you've got all these people that were long up through here that are going to be trying to sell their positions back at break even after this massive sell off. So just keep that in mind. UPST. Okay, so UPST, this another one just continuing to sell off, clearly making lower highs, and definitely a laggard. So if you're looking to try and trade this space to the long side, I would much rather be in something like a firm. A firm has just got to support. Daily chart looks a little rough, but the weekly chart looks okay. It's bouncing at the weekly 21. So you could look at this one if you want to trade it long, trade it above 78, $80, right around there. No, I would look to buy it above 78 and uh in the thinking that it will hold this low that it put in last week. But as for UPST, major laggard. Um, but I think eventually this thing will break out. It's just not setting up currently. You can see it's been building higher lows in this consolidation. There's just no setup here. It's a rough looking chart. NVTS, this one looks good. You can see we had this massive run up from $2 to so like almost a 500% move. So this one looks really good. You just need to wait for a pullback and some sort of consolidation, and you can trade this one long. This is in the semiconductor space, so I think there's and this move here also has some merit to it. Like this move doesn't just happen, right? institutions are definitely involved. We bounced off the 21 EMA. So keep an eye on that one. It's not setting up right now, but good looking chart. So could set up here in the next few weeks. Looks a lot like Oscar, but you can see how long Oscar consolidated for before it finally set up. So you got to just give yourself some time on that. SYK. This one is just in a range. There's nothing to do here. It's just trading in a huge range and hasn't made any progress in a long time. It's been trading in a range since 2024, October, so about a year. So yeah, I wouldn't touch this. And it moves less than 2% per day, so it barely even moves. I'd avoid that. Mara, so if you're looking for those like Bitcoin mining type stocks, I wouldn't trade this one. This is a laggard. Um, it looks okay. Like it could break out once it gets above 20. It could have a pretty nice move. Wait for a pullback to the moving averages and some sort of consolidation. I'd be looking for buy signals on my end, but if I'm going to trade any of those, I'm looking at IREN. Like this is a clear leader. Then we go look at HUT is another leader. This is one that I would want to be trading. I wouldn't necessarily want to trade Mara. It's just a laggard. And then I think even Riot is performing better. So Riot, yeah, even Riot is looking better. So I would trade any of those above trading Mara because it's really lagging. SoFi, yeah. So this one's bouncing off the weekly 50. If you want to look for maybe a rally in our earnings, or it's bouncing off the daily 50, sorry. So Uh, for me personally, I'd be looking for if we get a bounce off 50 and look like we're starting to turn up on Monday or Tuesday, and we continue to hold the 50, you could look for a bounce play and try to trade it to the upside off of the daily 50. Um, but this may revert back to the 21 EMA. So if I were you, just use the weekly or the daily 50 as your stop. And then if it starts to follow through on Monday, I wouldn't just buy it because it hit the 50 and held on Friday. I'd want to see it turn back up and maybe trade back above 26 or something. Plug. This one you're chasing. You missed the move on that one. It's up 35%. You missed that move. Um, I wouldn't try and chase it here. All of the solars have looked good. Uh, NXT, SIE. Um, this one was probably one of the better looking ones off the weekly chart. Great breakout there. FSLR, R, Run, they've all been performing well. So, um, yeah, they all look good. It's just they need to reset. They're already off and running. You just missed the trade there. Open Door, kind of like a meme stock here as of recent. Yeah, this one looks good. I really like this price action. So, um, you can see how tight price is getting these last few days, like all week last week. It's getting really tight. I'm going to add that one to my watch list and keep an eye on that and see if we can get a breakout here relatively soon. So yeah, this one looks good. Yeah, keep an eye on this one. I love the consolidation here, the gap up. We faded into the gap and got bought back up as support. And we're building higher lows. We're creating a really tight range, low volume. So absolutely, this one looks great. So keep an eye on Open Door. Um, and this would be, yeah, you're just looking for the breakout here. So just keep a close eye on it. And yeah, I would be watching that one. But all right, guys, that's all I have. I hope this helps. Let me know if you guys have questions, but I'll be in the chat. So here's my watch list if you want to take a screenshot of it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.